All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Hanging with Joe Ball. Uh, Anybody who's missed these before, it's just me and my boy Joe, just talking about some comics, talking about wrestling, just chatting for a little bit. We usually go about 45 minutes, maybe less 30, depending on, if we kind of hit all our points. But yeah, I'm just trying to get back into the swing of things on my channel. Welcome to everybody who subbed. Finally got to 200 subs, so thanks everybody. Uh,
Yeah,
so Joe, man, how's your week been, man? I heard you got something big coming up soon, don't you?
yeah, it's just been a busy, ridiculous week of just nonstop nonsense trying to make sure everything's figured out for this convention down in Houston, the Anime Matsuri.
Yeah.
And it's just been it's like, you always feel like there's gonna be like it's like, oh, it's just airplane tickets and hotel. Like in your brain it sounds simple enough,
Mhm.
and then it's just one thing after another where it's like next time I'm just gonna like pay someone to drive and get like a U-Haul van or some shit. I'm just gonna ride with them, just rather than the amount of trouble I'm going through, just trying to get merchandise down there and all that with us flying, rather than taking a vehicle where we would bring the stuff with us. It's just been a lot of stuff to get straight. So, but it's the hardest parts behind me, I think. So I'll find out once I'm on an airplane. I'll think that again. Once I'm actually in Houston, I think that again. And once we're through like the first day, I'll think that one more time. Like, well, the hardest parts, behind me. When I get home, I'll have that thought one last time.
Yeah, man, for sure. How long are you gonna be there?
We'll be there the 27th. Let's see, through the 30th. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now we won't be there all of Sunday because we do have a plane we have to catch that evening, so we may have to dip out there like towards the end. But I mean, it's literally when the show's kind of wrapping up, anyways. Like most people are packing up at that point, nonetheless.
Yeah,
So, but
usually,
it's to catch a plane.
yeah, usually the last day is really only good for about half of it anyway. So
Yeah, yeah.
not really.
Unless you're there to find like deals last minute from people that don't want to carry extra stuff home, that's about all a Sunday's good for.
Yeah,
Which I hope I sell everything because I don't want to have to try to get any of the stuff back.
yeah, that's
I'm
yeah,
hoping I blaze through every single piece of merchandise and we just come home empty handed and ready to order more stuff.
yeah, man, that's what it's all about. Yeah, you know what's crazy, Joe?
What's that?
This Ring of Honor pay-per-view that's going on right now.
Oh, I didn't even know there was one going.
Yeah,
Actually,
man.
I know of it, but I didn't know it was tonight.
Yeah, what's going on right now? It's about like 2 hours in. I've been catching some highlights and stuff. Looks pretty crazy, man. Looks like a fun show. I was actually thinking about going to it. It's within distance, but I got like I'm doing the AEW show on Wednesday, and then I gotta go into Terrificon on Saturday. So I'm like, I can't justify like
Yeah, that's a lot of just things to do back to back to back as
yeah,
well.
I'd have to take the whole day off and stuff because I'm driving a half, and so it's just you gotta miss out on this. So maybe the next time they go up there, I'll mark it down the calendar and make sure I get them my day off and stuff. But this was announced pretty late, all things considered. And
Yeah.
like only like a month of promotion, really, maybe less, maybe like 4 weeks. So yeah,
I feel like when I watched the last Dynamite, that that was the first time I heard about it. So literally like a day and a half, 2 days ago, something like that, whatever Wednesday was. So it's I don't know if I'm the minority there or if that's most people,
no,
but
it's
it
just
did
like
kind of come out of nowhere.
yes, with especially like all the build up to Forbidden Door and stuff, and it just like I think I think there's something going on where like maybe Warner Brothers is doing like a test run on Ring of Honor and seeing kind of how their numbers are. So I think they might have asked for like an early show to see how tickets and everything would do. Nothing confirmed about that. I have no sources, but something tells me there's a little more than. than what's going on. So
I would say, considering the future of television or cable or any of that is basically live sporting events. Um, as we see like shows decrease, and we see like NHL got ridiculous numbers
hell yeah.
for the rights to their product, even though it was not justified really in terms of the viewership. Same for the NBA times. They've gotten paid ridiculous money when for years on end the numbers were not there that TNT and other networks thought they were going to get out of it. But what it comes down to is it's consistent and it's the future. So there's like a lot of people that are testing stuff and paying out the wazoo for anything that resembles a live sporting event, because even if it's not massive right now, it may be the only thing down the road when, you know, Netflix and Prime and everything else have kind of washed out TV shows for the networks in order for them to survive. So it wouldn't surprise me. It's not the first time TNT or Turner Networks and now Warner Brothers has kind of tested this kind of stuff. I think they know that the wave of the future for them to stay functional at a high level and make a lot of money is going to be, if they're the home for the high end wrestling, it's a long term thing that's gonna work out for them. So I hope they do. I hope it does, and it goes well for them. I think it'll get at least a huge chunk of the AEW audience if it's on television at least once a week.
Yeah, it's interesting. Kind of feel maybe wrestling has kind of peaked as far as how much content people are willing to watch. So I think Ring of Honor right now is in a tough spot. And I definitely think, if AEW has some sort of streaming service, I think it could be perfect. They could be like the old NXT, but they
It's
could have
true.
like a once a week show on like the streaming, and you don't have to worry about ratings, and you can get the hardcore to watch it every week and build it up that way for like a year or two, and then maybe launch it. But right now, it's just like there's too much. WWE has watered everything down. AEW struggling to get Rampage going just because there's really no other spots except Friday nights for it. They're not
Yeah.
going to go up against the NFL, and they're not going to go up against WWE, so they have to basically have this bad spot that has just been made worse because of all the time changes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I feel like the inconsistency of network jumping over other sporting events. I know those contracts were there prior in a lot of cases, and they have no choice but to work around that schedule for the people that came before them. But it's like, for me, I can't tell you how many times in the early days I was just like, I'm so tired of trying to remember what time it's coming on this night on another network, because it wasn't. I know it's only two or three options, but when you finally got settled in on the show in the first place, and then it jumps or it has a weird time. I don't know. I'm not going to be overly critical of that. It's not like a make or break by any means, but I can see a lot of people just like forgetting, you know, just out of habit that it didn't come on that night. Because that's every time I forgot till it was almost over, and just, I had to go back and dig it up on the internet somewhere, finish watching it. And Rampage is like that. I hardly ever catch Rampage live.
yeah, it's tough. And also the fact that it's taped and the spoilers get out and everything, that also doesn't help.
Yeah, I have to avoid a lot of dirt sheet stuff until it gets to a point where like I either don't care or I finally already seen it. But
Yeah.
yeah, every time it is frustrating, and I didn't even realize that when I was young that like stuff got taped early and
Yeah.
results would get leaked. I don't think I learned that till the Monday Night War era when Bischoff kind of gave that away to us. But I'd never.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I saw wrestling magazines like all the way down to the old black and white ones and stuff at the store, and I used to love that stuff. And I would just sit in the store and read it while my mom was like grocery shopping. But I don't remember ever reading anything too crazy. Most of what I would see was like pictures of dudes I recognized showing up at weird promotions I'd never heard of. You know, I didn't know what the indies and the territories were yet. Like I just thought it was all wrestling. But These days, man, you can't look at anything without getting entire shows completely spoiled or some
Yeah,
headline that's like, "Okada's champion again?" Question mark, and you're like, "Oh God, what happened? They didn't
yeah.
give me a chance."
And like everybody leads with the spoiler, don't even like give you a chance to like skip it and not be spoiled.
Yeah,
Uh,
everything's wrestle talk. Everything's a bunch of Scottish and British people driving me crazy with the way they speak.
yeah, all those channels have become absolutely horrible, man. It's just the coverage of wrestling in general has dropped off so bad over in the past just like 3 years. Like it's just become so bad. Like a lot of those channels used to be entertaining. Now everybody's just like miserable and just like
Yeah.
it's just,
What's up, Vengeance?
vengeance is going on. You got Chris in the house. What up, homie?
What up, Sugar Chris?
Yeah, guys, we're just here bullshitting about comics, talking about wrestling. Ring of Honor is going on right now, so I'm looking forward to catching it probably tomorrow or Monday. Probably sit down and watch the whole thing. But I'm hearing good things about it, some surprises, some title changes. So yeah, keep an eye out on that.
Hey, now it's wrestle talk, so we do have to bring up the one glaring bit of news in the week
Okay.
that Vince McMahon has gotten all elite, brother. He showed up to AEW.
Uh,
I cannot wait. He's gonna power strut out and just decimate some fools,
is like
some little lightweights.
Tony Khan. You think you're elite? I invented elite. Damn it.
No joke. If he actually had the gall to go through with something like that, I would. The whole world would tune in for one night. Wrestling would be 80s big again because it would be absolutely insane to see Vince power strut out there and just shit talk everybody. And Tony would roll with it. He's a sport. He would totally be like, what's it going to cost to get this sex pest to come power strut out on my show and
Dude,
just run his mouth?
I can just imagine the bomb that's about to drop on this guy if he had to like call it. Uh, and it must be whew, whoever got the dirt. Yeah, just waiting for you. It's got to be
Vince.
big. Vince has lived through everything and done some, and now
Yeah.
it has to be more than him paying for like side chicks. That's got to be something super super spicy. So hopefully in the next week or so, we'll find out what the deal is.
Well, Vince said in an interview that he just woke up recently, like woke up a morning or two ago, and looked in the mirror and said, "You're fired." And it was he just it. There was no option left because he just fired himself. And when he fires someone, it's permanent until about 2 years later,
Yes,
when he always lets them come back.
I'm back.
Uh,
Damn it!
yeah, figure he's gonna pull a Tom Brady on us. This will last for about a month and a half before he's
Yeah,
like, "They're fucking up everything. I'm back. It's going well. Ratings are up. I'm back."
but they're actually putting wrestling on Raw. Damn it!
Oh, I'm excited to see what Triple H does, man. If NXT was any hint of it, it could WWE could start
It
really
needs to
shaking
be
things up.
the only way I think it'll change if it's a full like cleanup. Like Kevin Dunn's got to go. I did hear People Power himself, Johnny Ace is gone. Get rid of
Well, that had to happen too.
get rid of Bruce Pritchard. All these sycophants that do nothing but drag the show down. They got to clean all that out, and then you could have like an actual interesting show with Hunter, Sean taking over, couple writers. Man, actually, I get some interest again. But the show,
Yeah.
even just like the presentation of the show, is terrible. Like it's so nauseating when you're watching 1,000 camera cuts. Like like you finally get into this match. All right, this is cool. I'm digging this match, and then you like, you know, like what the fuck, dude? Like these people are just having like an arm wrestling right now. Like nothing's going on. Why is there a million camera cuts? 2 minutes into this match, and they're in like a hammer lock, and just like
It's weird because sometimes they'll get it just right, like where they cut to the perfect angle right when something crazy's happening.
yeah,
But you have to sit through 10 times of that going wrong to get to the one time where you're like, that was perfect right there. That angle, the way that got delivered. Like they do have like that high production quality, but it's like they just waste it on stuff like that where it's like this isn't necessary. There's a way of doing this, and it's not a problem for AEW. It's not a problem for New Japan. They're perfectly capable maneuvering the basic skills that you need to film wrestling without having to force guys to jump at hard cams and all kinds of other ridiculous shit the WWE asked of them. I remember Finn Balor saying when he first showed up and they were asking him why he didn't do certain things near certain cameras, he was like, I don't know. In New Japan, you just went out there and did a match. It was up to those guys to figure out how to, film it and catch it correctly. I wasn't doing anything for a camera in a certain spot. So it's got to be like two different worlds depending on what you're used to as a wrestler.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's not. It's the product is just. It's more show than. Wrestling should be part show, but it shouldn't be most show with some wrestling. It's just become too much like that.
There's a ring in the center of the entire building, not a stage.
Yeah.
A ring. It's different. And I know people like to compare it like it's the same. It's not. So.
But guys, we have some breaking news here.
Oh, shit.
From Vengeance.
Oh, well, Vengeance. Everybody did that watched wrestling then. It was like she was not a 10 by any means, but you couldn't help yourself. Everyone that watched Attitude Era was like, there were at least a few times we were like, damn, Steph is looking a little extra good tonight, even though she's looking like a total hoe. She wouldn't wear a bra or something and just be like, damn, girl's just running around with her nipples all perked out in the middle of Raw. I guess anything's possible these days.
Yeah, man, she was a great GM, I remember her and Bischoff taking over SmackDown and Raw. Those were actually some of the last good years they had. Yeah. A lot of fun segments and battles and stuff. So we'll see. We'll always hope the product gets better from every company because it's been a lot of bad wrestling over the last couple of years.
Like, that's the thing, too. A lot of people think we all wish WWE bad. It's like only when they're fucking everybody. But overall, no, I hope it gets better. I hope it becomes great again because I've got no problem with WWE being a top company, at least in terms of some in-ring and pulling in new people again because, they've overcame a lot of ridiculous stuff in their time as a company. And I'd hate to see it just stay niche like it's been for a while,
Yep. What's going on, brother? She does have that WWE money, so definitely get taken care of.
Yeah.
Triple H trying to live that house husband life.
He's a genius. He's a pure genius.
Then Vengeance asks where Shane is. Probably doing some hookers and blow right now. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Look, man, he's rich. He's got his cut of the company. It's 2% or whatever the hell it is. He's good. He's not struggling.
Yeah, he doesn't really need to work again a day in his life if he chooses to.
He's good. So at least he's not in the ring throwing terrible punches. So we've all been spared of that. So Joe, man, why don't you tell everybody about, what your other love is? We know you love wrestling, you love the Bengals.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about this amazing project, which is on Indiegogo right now. Little Death.
Yes, it is my first book out of my super epic series, Death. It's like an action adventure war story on another planet. A handful of Atlanteans get rebirthed on this moon outside of Saturn, and consequently they end up running into the other creatures that live there and or used to live there, and it becomes an all-out war for the land. And it all kind of is a story that runs around a family, a father, a mother, and a baby, just trying to survive in this world where they're thrown into circumstances beyond their control, and to the point where they're mixed up in war. They're kind of like people trying to run from the world, but it won't let them do that, no matter how hard they try. So it's gonna be a really action-packed book. It's got a lot of I compare it to like it's like Bible lore mixed with Transformers mixed with Berserk. Like it's a little bit fantasy, a little bit sci-fi. There's a mechanized aspect to it and a futuristic, but there's also a raw um, brutality of nature and just trying to survive aspect to the story too, where that all kind of intertwines and meets each other. So really excited. We're almost to 56K. We're like less than $100 away. So I can't wait to cross that mark here and have that little, over that hump and just move on to the next number. So, I need this thing to keep breaking in as much as possible and like close it so that we can wrap up strong and get people excited for book 2 and get to work on that as quick as possible.
Yeah, man. One thing I love is the way the letters blend into the art.
Thank you. Yeah, I do. I intentionally try to do as much of that as I can. There's some times where it's like you need some quiet panels, but when the action's up, I'm like, man, I got to figure out how to make this action have a little more oomph with the sound effects, and it's tough to nail it. Sometimes it's just about making a word like crash. That's just a word. It's not even necessarily a sound effect, but I was like, I got to find a way to make this work because every other like spelling out of a sound I use just looks silly. It's
Yeah,
unintelligible. Where sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's tough to do. I try to take nods from manga as much as possible on that stuff, but the Japanese language is already just like it's based on art. Like they're all just little drawings of things rather than like a spelled out word like what we're
yeah,
used to. So like it's easy to incorporate that into the art because it's already art. You're just kind of blending a picture with a picture. And when I'm trying to do that with English, I don't have all those cool sharp edges or crazy, loop de loops that Japanese has to really make it blend in a neat way. So it's always trying to make sure English looks good and it blends with pages and it doesn't stick out in like a negative way because it is a talent all its own. Respect to people that are really good with sound effects. It's kind of tough to do. I see why comic companies have abandoned it over the years, in place of just colored and line art.
yeah. It's not the same though. Like this, like right here, I love that crash. It's almost like the crash is causing the action the way it's set up there. So it's really, you don't see stuff like this anywhere anymore. So that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you, man. I put a lot of thought into all of this, even though it can be overwhelming at times.
Yeah, the scrunch. Love me a good old scrunch.
Well, I'll literally sit here when I'm trying to figure this stuff out, and I'll be like, "What would it sound like to jump and then kind of kick slide off of a ledge?" It'd be like a shook, shook. Like I'll sit there and be like trying to be like, so I went shook, like I'm sit there trying to like make it look cool. And sometimes, like I said, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But it's like you want the sound to really be represented. You can't. It's frustrating when you want people to hear things,
Yeah.
but you're making a comic book where you just got to imply it as best as humanly possible to where their brain kind of does the work.
And then these other panels here are just fantastic.
Thank you very much, man. It's a labor of love. I'm always working on these colors, and I try to force myself to occasionally like reel it in a little bit, and then inevitably I get carried away on every single page I touch. I'm like, I gotta chill out a little bit because some of this stuff's just gonna get like it's gonna turn into just glowing everywhere. But it's like I can't help myself. I just love adding a little bit of glow to everything I do.
Yeah, well, it's awesome.
I feel like it's part of my style. Like if I can learn to do it with balance, that people recognize like my habits for coloring. And it's anywhere I can use light. I use it too. It's full.
And then the colors are also great on this.
Thank you.
It's just fantastic. Yeah, man. It's like I said, I've seen a lot of the art and a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. So this is gonna be an incredible, just comic. It's gonna be an experience. I know a lot of people have backed it so far, but if you're on the fence, like I think this is gonna knock your socks off, man. It's really.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it, and that's exactly what I hope to do. I really hope people like the story I tell and want to come back for more.
Oh, so you just added this the 70K stretch goal.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it was a few weeks ago, but it was still recently. Yeah, I'm gonna get a anime Matsuri ash can for every backer once we hit 70K.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
What's in the ash can? Let me talk a little bit about that.
it's literally the first 12 pages of the book. Let me see. I got a copy here. This is a proof copy, though. Unfortunately, I forgot to take one of the finished copies out of the box before I shipped them all to Houston. But we'll make do. Yeah, adjust my camera here. So it'll pretty much look like this. I can't guarantee it'll be green though. I like the homemade charm of ash cans. So like I'll even leave like a little mistake here and there, and just to give it an extra homemade touch look, like a line that's not cleaned up out of the borders or stuff like that. But I'd
Yeah,
basically tell our printer just whatever color paper she has on hand that'll work. I'm not too picky about it. She makes good decisions. So yeah.
here we go.
So it's literally the first 12 pages, but the people I've shown it to have told me, because this is a good bit different from what people saw in some of the preliminary stuff from a few years ago, like that showed up in a Bullet Maker preview and stuff like that. Like that stuff's literally like 2.5 years old now. But this is, yeah, the first 12 pages, and it's been compared to like a nice little. This was one of the corrected ones. It's not like this in it anymore. It's a full spread like it should be. But everyone said it feels kind of like a little movie trailer, like you're getting a little overview of what you're getting into, all
That's
in
a
those
great.
first 12 pages. So
That's a great fucking image right there.
thank you. I'm
Uh,
I'm I'm always proud of that one, even though it's just a guy standing there, and I
no,
harp
man.
on that all the time. Just
That tells you everything. You're like, who is this dude? I want to know more. Like, let me
yeah,
in. So yeah, man, that's awesome. That's what everybody wants, man. Want these characters that are like the moment you see them, you're like, all right, let me know more about this dude. Let's see what's going on. Because you're basically creating worlds. We're creating characters. We're creating all this
yeah.
stuff from scratch. So like we need to grab people by the balls, man, like, and just be like, like we got some cool villains, we got some cool heroes, we got some cool shit. So you
Well,
know,
I
we,
definitely think when people get it, they'll be surprised at, like, yeah, there's a lot of weird artwork in the book, but there's also a lot of high end action packed, characters like you just saw. Like it's still like a fun book despite some of the imagery that may make it look like weird and uncomfortable. Like that stuff's just to build the world, set the tone. But when you get down to the nitty gritty and it's organic mechs, ripping each other apart, that's when you realize what this book's all about. So
so yeah,
yeah,
man,
I'm really excited.
it's gonna be a good one, man. So how long do you plan on keeping this around, Joe? Like,
Well, I'm basically, it's like I have two criteria. I'll either cut it off around like October, November when I'm getting close to print, or See, it'll depend on how close I am to six figures. I really want this thing to hit 100K. If like if I'm riding that line and it gets to like November, I'll just leave it up and accept that I may have to just do a bigger order to cover the difference of who might come in during the meantime. We always get extras anyways. We know this is people that make comic books.
Yeah,
You never get the exact amount you need. You have to go over just in
yeah,
case.
always. It
So
goes for everything you order, not just like
mhm.
Gemini's, boards, you know, top loaders, everything.
Yeah, yeah, it's well,
Tape.
there's
People order more tape than what you need.
you order triple more tape than you need because you eventually are really glad that you did so. Like that's just one of those things
Your
where
life will
you're
be
always
boxes and tape for months. Uh, yeah,
I'll take it though over the boxes I've been dealing with. Like everything's been so big and heavy to get it ready for this convention that
terrible.
like bring on these little boxes. I can sit and kind of zone out and do that. This other stuff's also GD time sensitive that it's just been a lot to do. So it's sad to look forward to just a different kind of boxes, but that's where I'm at in life. So
Uh, the struggles of creators.
yeah.
Uh, it's all good though.
Yeah, we know what we're getting into.
It's one of those things. Just trying to look
Yeah.
at some of these
Go
tiers.
ahead.
You have some original art right there. Trust me, I own a couple of pieces of Joe Ball art. Uh, it's worth every penny, especially from this. This is his most detailed work, his most the thing that he's gonna be best known for. So it's definitely
Yeah,
if you're an art guy and you're thinking about dropping it, then it's a good project to drop it on.
and this opportunity will probably not arise again in the future. Like I'm whoever gets artwork gets some, and then once I put it back in the drawer and lock it up, it's probably gonna stay there. I'll make a few copies of the pages just to put in there to see, and eventually I'll portfolio it, and I'll probably take good care of those ones because I've sold off almost all my original art at this point in life. I don't keep much of it around at this these days. Because just frankly, it's just stuff in my way. I don't have the same respect for my stuff other people do in terms of the physical work. Like it's just paper after a while. But this one I'm a little more picky about. So I have no problem with the making it expensive and difficult to get because I frankly don't really want to give it up. But if people want to pay that for it, it tells me they really want a piece of this, and I'm more than glad to hook them up on that.
That's awesome. You also got some passion for drawing sketch cards.
Yep, I still got. I think there's two left. Um,
There's two there. Yeah.
but yeah, you get a passion sketch card, fully colored and illustrated. They're beautiful, and you get a copy of the color hardback version signed. So you'll get you a nice little package out of that. Um, and yeah, those are basically the only things I have up right now. A lot of the other stuff was stretch goals that already ran their course. So outside of the basic packages, the individual books and or the 2 or 3 pack is the remaining tiers. So
That's awesome. 55K, almost 56. I mean, someone's right there.
yeah, it's all very exciting. I expected it to do well, but I didn't anticipate I would get like this late surge with it. So it's I'm very happy, even if I don't sound like it sometimes, that it's gaining some steam and getting some more eyes, and people are they seem to be taking an honest interest.
Yeah.
I don't think it's my internet clout that's getting me.
No, no, man.
You know,
People have been knowing about this for a minute, and it's good. I think everybody's excited for it. So
yeah, I can't wait to get it in people's hands. I know that you can't please everyone, and I'm sure somebody will have something to say about it, but I think overall that that Twitter reaction once those start rolling into people's mailboxes. That'll be kind of like my Christmas day since I'm shipping them out around then. People get them for Christmas presents, and then they can let me know if I put coal in their stocking or if I sent them a beautiful gift that they paid a lot of money for.
Yeah, guys. So you can go check out Def Def Def. If you got any mods in the chat, let me see. Check the chat real quick. Just want to say hail to Phoenix Animation, who's here earlier.
What up, Phoenix?
Aaron Vengeance. You saw Ryan was here. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Like I said, we're just hanging out here talking some comics, talking some wrestling. Just bullshitting for like another couple minutes. We don't usually go too long. We usually go about like, you know, 30, 45 minutes or so.
So I got a question though. What's going on with the Ace Volume 2?
Brother, the Ace Volume 2 is where everything is at. Like I've always said a lot of things, we all promote our stuff, however we promote it.
Yeah.
I've kind of taken a little different tack to just kind of like doing a little less kind of like hard sell and more just like kind of being more honest about everything,
Yeah.
Because there's only even like you can like overhype yourself and you can almost like, it almost become like a caricature,
Oh, I've been overhyping myself mentally since I was a child. I 100% understand the regret associated with such mental patterns.
Yeah. No, but like seriously, it's like just taking like the difference, the growth from volume one, which I'm super proud of. Every once in a while I have a copy nearby always, just and I'll just thumb through it and just kind of like, just it gives me like a kick,
Yeah.
just actually it'd be like I actually did this. It took me like 2+ years, 2.5 years, however long it was, but like I actually made my own comic. So you
Yeah.
got to remind yourself when you're like slogging through that you actually accomplish something in life. But for volume two, man, like I just feel so like it's so much better. Like, and it's hard to have that confidence because it almost seems like you're like putting down the first one, and I'm not, But like this one's so much better. I mean, you've seen the art and everything.
Yeah. Yes.
Some other guys have like everybody is leveled up, man. Like I feel more comfortable as a writer. I feel just better where the story's going, and then like all my artists, man, Ibai, How, Sweens, just everybody has just taken it up. Even like the extra pieces that I have, you know, the prints, all of that is just so much better. Like I said, and now that we gotten past like the starting phase of like creating the world and everything, now that people have read it and they know who David is, they know who Angelique is, they know who Akula is, it just feels like so much more comfortable, And
Well,
it's
now
just
you can write without having to keep like all that origins context in mind. You
yeah,
know what I mean? It's like now you're on to the real adventure, if that makes sense.
for sure. And then you want to talk about covers, man. Like freaking Pat just destroyed the cover for this. It just like it has that kind of X-Men early kind of like when they're fighting the Shi'ar, the kind of like era of X-Men, just
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Angelique playing like the Archangel part,
Yeah, I like it a lot. He got really good dramatic poses
Yeah,
that are
then
fitting up, and then it has that old school like the late '80s going into the early '90s like X-Men dramatic covers where it was always some villain coming from overhead and everyone
yeah,
being like, "Oh shit."
like, there's always a fight at the mansion or something, Something's always going down. And things I like with my covers, I like them to show like what's actually happening in the book.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna get some bait and switch. Like this is gonna be a lot of what you see. So and also like the fact that I got Theo to color. this piece. Theo colored the first ace, so it was nice to get him to kind
Yeah, he
of,
did a good job on it. It
yeah.
pops.
And then like just like Canales' art, seeing it fully colored, that you don't normally see from everybody else who does Canales projects. They usually just do like gray tones. So like seeing him colored by How, seeing like his creativity, like I think all this stuff is like in his wheelhouse. He's great at creating like aliens and like spaceships and armor, all that kind of stuff. He does that in other books like that. Uh,
Yeah, you can tell it's something he enjoys doing because he excels at it.
yeah, and he just gotten so much more comfortable with like the characters and the setting and everything.
He's a big Transformers guy too, so I'm sure that plays into it a little bit.
Yeah. So we got swings, this amazing piece right here, this page just like completely just tells a story without needing to add one word of dialogue, you know?
Yeah, you can follow it very clearly without being told what's going on. You know what's going on.
And then I'm going to suggest this is going to be the breakout story of the Ace. It's Akula Origins by Hal. Just fantastic stuff. Just like it's going to be so much fun. A little bit of Street Sharks miss with Sons of Anarchy. Who could not
And
want?
How just excels too. He makes fun artwork.
Yeah, just the colors, the world. Like again, like you don't even with the dialogue, missing, you can tell like you can get everything that's going on. Just love all these characters. You got young, confident Akula there. So it's just fantastic. Then you got stuff like this ace print right here, the space print.
So
Uh,
pretty.
yeah, it's like a done by SK Stash, colors by Michael Beacon. So it's just tremendous piece. Still available at the campaign. What's not available is this metal print. This is kind of gone, and I won't have any copies really. I only have like a handful for like if anybody as mail gets lost or whatever. But yeah, if you back this, you're gonna love this. I just put the order in for Phoenix, so he's working on these now. So I'm super pumped to see, to get them in my hand. I already know what they look like. Phoenix sent me like a little video of what it's gonna look like, and it's insane. Got
Oh
the
yeah, it's gonna.
Akulas,
He does such good work. You
yeah.
know, it's gonna look badass.
Kula Slam Buddies. Like I said, those will probably be one of the first things that ship out once I figure out exactly how to ship out those things. But those are gonna be fun. You got this amazing second printing cover right here. Look at that. Whoever this artist is really is good. I might have to like work with him again in the future. He did a good job
Mhm.
on this.
Yeah, he's not too bad.
Yeah. No, it was fantastic. Cover for the second printing of Volume 1. So if you missed out, you can still grab that. And we unlocked some stretch goals. We got these 4 Godless stickers from 6 a.m. The best. I love Six's art, his style. So just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is, dude. Everyone loves 6 a.m.'s work. He's been like a mainstay for years now. You know, you can tell the people really love his stuff.
And you got this Ace trading card, which has been unlocked for all backers. So everybody will get this. And now we're trying to unlock this awesome print by Bogdan Digital Art. It's Ace versus Vane. Ace from obviously the Ace, and then you have Vane from Lost Pages. Shout out to Phil and Brando for letting me borrow the big man. I
Yeah,
just love this dynamic image, very reminiscent of like the early Marvel covers with Sabretooth and Logan facing off. You know,
yeah, I love it.
yeah. So we're close. I think we're only like 325 away from unlocking this. So
So that's not too shabby. Got to
yeah,
get over there and unlock those ace perks.
that's right. We also got some passion for drawing sketch cards for this campaign. Also, he just sent them to me. should be on their way. So I should have them probably next week or so. So I got two left. Uh, these are super good passions, just fully detailed, full of colors. They're really like they're basically like a sketch of his, trimmed down to like sketch card size. It's a fantastic deal, and I think, if you're a fan of the characters in the world, and if you're a fan of Passion, he's got a great project. You should snag those up. This think they're really gonna be some nice pieces of art for you to own. And then
Passion sketch cards are so pretty.
yeah, they're fantastic. Then you see the regular. We have the featured print, which is Ace Volume One, second printing, the Ace Volume Two, and then you have the space print. $45. I think that's really reasonable for all of that. Plus, you get all the sketch, all the stretch goals added to that, so it's a pretty nice order. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now we're just pushing. Trying to get this over to 7K. Let's see right here. Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. One thing I'm doing is doing these kind of bonus giveaways. So anybody who ends up backing it tonight is actually going to get these right here. These are the Ace trading cards. Super exclusive. The Ace one you could only get by signing up to the mailing list for the first book. So this is super rare. This one was a stretch goal, the Angelique one. You can see a little backstory on the back. And then the actual cards. I have probably like 20 or so of these left. So I'll throw these in for the order. Like I said, we don't resell stuff from the first campaign. I'll only ever do like giveaways or like as a bonus thank you. So anybody kind of missed out, if you already are getting the new Ace trading card and you want the old school ones, is the only way to get it. So if you back it tonight, midnight, we'll give it midnight on the West Coast, and I'll throw those in for you. So yeah.
Very good deal.
So yeah, guys, I think we're over like 45 minutes, so we're probably gonna call it. Joe, man, you got any parting words for the people? Let them know what's going on, what your plans are, all that fun stuff.
You can find me over on Twitter at Comic Art Master One. You'll see most of the updates there, or at my YouTube channel, Joe Ball King Toad Incorporated. And we'll be in Houston from the 27th of this month through the 30th at Ricada's booth. You'll be able to find us there at Anime Matsuri. We'll have all kinds of King Toad bags and shirts and Mothman shirts and mini prints and 4 different ash cans to choose from for different books in the production phase. And, beer bottle, keychain, King Toad, bottle openers, just all varieties of stuff. So come see us, pick up some fun merch. Let us say hi. Maybe if you want to have fun, we'll throw up a little bit on social media of us meeting all the fans and seeing people, and it'll be a lot of fun. We'll be in Cincinnati as well in September. So towards the end of that, you'll start hearing more about that here in the future. But we'll also have a King Toad booth in Cincy for the Comic Book Expo. So if anyone's in the area that can come out to that, that'll be a fun place to come see us as well. And yeah, just working away on Death. Go back it, get on it while you can. That's I'd say that's pretty much the most of it. The Swarm mailing list is up if you just look up Swarm on Indiegogo. That'll be like one of the studio's next big books. So I think
we gotta talk about Swarm. We gotta get Shane on here. Talk about Swarm a little bit, because that's gonna be sick, man. People have no idea. We've already seen some of that. That's gonna be an exciting project. That's one of the few books I can actually see doing something with the Ace. It has that character, that world, the stuff that I'm into. So I'm super pumped for that, man.
Yeah, it's got good crossover appeal for the Ace world. So yeah, I'm excited as well. It's going to be a really red hot book. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out the gate much stronger than Death, Death, Death. But we'll see how it does for the long haul. I think it's a good mixed audience book. You know, I think the manga fans are gonna like it. I think the Western comic fans will like it. Like, there's a little something familiar about all of
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
So
Yeah, thank you, Ryan, brother. I appreciate the support. It's always good to hear, man. Thank you.
yep, yep.
Yep, and me, you can find me on Twitter for all your Ace Volume 2 needs. It's at Edwin Aces. I mostly put any update or anything that's usually where it goes first. We're trying to make a little push here if you can help spread the word. Because, I really would like to get to 7K, not just to unlike the awesome East versus Vane print, but also once we get to 7K, we'll be close to passing Volume 1. It's total. So, and then I'll do some fun stuff for that. I already got like guys know, I'm doubly prepared when it comes to these campaigns. Like I got stuff art people haven't even seen. They have no idea that I've gotten stuff from artists. So I got different stuff that I could always do. I'll
Yeah,
probably
Ace
do.
always has tons of backup stuff.
Yeah,
The amount of good art you're flooded with is kind of ridiculous in a way.
yeah. So I would like to be able to do something fun to get past 7K. Get this past the first volume. Uh, but yeah, guys, thank you for joining us. Like I said, with me and Joe, we do this every week, every 2 weeks, whatever. We're just hanging out, talking, BSing about whatever's going on. So we appreciate you hanging with us for a little bit, and you guys have a good night. Peace.
Later, gang.